This happened about a year ago. Like most people, I was addicted to social media, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. It was my go-to escape after a long day at work. One particular night, I was sitting alone in my apartment, scrolling through TikTok. The room was dimly lit, just my desk lamp and the faint glow from my phone screen. Everything felt normal. But that night, something happened that changed the way I see social media forever. I remember it was around 11:30 p.m. I was watching random videos, laughing at memes and feeling that usual comfort of disconnecting from the real world. But as I swiped up to the next video, the screen froze for a second longer than usual. Then it loaded something strange. A dimly lit video of a room that looked eerily familiar. At first I couldn't place it, but then I realized it was my living room. I stared at the screen, frozen. I thought, this has to be a glitch. Maybe the app accidentally accessed my camera. I backed out of the video and refreshed my feed, trying to shake the unease. But then, a notification popped up. New follower. Watching you. The profile picture was just a black screen. No posts, no bio, no followers. I brushed it off as spam and blocked the account. But as I went back to my feed, I noticed something chilling. The next video was another dark room. This time, the camera slowly moved toward a window. My window. I turned to look, heart pounding, but the blinds were closed. I told myself it was just a coincidence, just my imagination running wild. But then my phone buzzed again. A direct message. You left the blinds open yesterday. I saw everything. Panic set in. I deleted the message and turned off my phone, determined to forget about it. But it wasn't over. Minutes later, my phone buzzed again, even though it was on silent. A new notification. A video tagged with my username. When I opened it, my blood ran cold. It was a recording of me sitting on my couch in real time. The angle was from outside, as if someone were filming through the window. My heart raced as I checked every lock in my apartment, every window. I closed the blinds tighter and called a friend, but no one answered. I was completely alone. I called the police, but by the time they arrived, there was nothing to find. No footprints outside, no signs of forced entry, and the account had vanished. The officers told me it was probably just a prank. Maybe someone hacked my account. But I knew better. Someone had been there. I wish I could say that was the end of it, but it got worse. A week later, I received an email from an address I didn't recognize. The subject line read, "Still watching." Attached was a single image. It was me, asleep in my bed, taken from inside my room. I don't know how they got in, how they left without me noticing, or how long they'd been watching. The thought that someone was in my home, standing over me as I slept, it still makes my skin crawl. I left my apartment the next day, stayed with a friend for weeks, but even after I moved, the emails didn't stop. Every few days, a new message, a new photo, always taken from the shadows, always just close enough to remind me they were still there. I deleted all my social media accounts. I stopped posting pictures, stopped checking notifications, stopped living my life online. But no matter what I do, I can't shake the feeling that someone is still watching. Every creak in the floorboards, every flicker of light in the corner of my eye. It all feels like them. The scariest part, I don't know who they are, why they chose me, or if it will ever stop. Social media connects us in ways we never imagined, but it also opens doors to the people we'd rather avoid. The next time you post, just think, who's really on the other side, watching? waiting. And if you ever get a follower request from watching you, don't ignore it. Block it. And pray. That's enough to keep them away. This happened just a night before. I was busy on WhatsApp, like always, scrolling through chats, checking memes, and forwarding random videos. Everything felt normal. But I had no idea that one simple last scene would scare me so much that I would stop using WhatsApp forever. It was around 2 a.m. I was alone in my room, with the lights off and only the phone's screen lighting up my face. Suddenly, I got a message from an old school friend. "Hey, remember that school photo I shared last week? Something feels off about it. Can you check it again?" I thought, why not? When I opened the photo, I noticed something strange. A shadow in the background, right behind us. At the time, I had ignored it, thinking it was nothing. But now, that shadow looked much clearer. I replied to my friend, "It's probably just a shadow, maybe someone's reflection." But then another message came. "Check your last scene." This message felt odd, but out of curiosity, I opened WhatsApp. What I saw made my heart skip a beat. My last scene showed last seen at 2:03 a.m. But it was already 2:05 a.m. and I hadn't even touched my phone during that time. Just then, another notification popped up. This time, it was from an unknown number. The message said, "You're not alone." My hands started trembling. I immediately blocked the number, but when I returned to my chat list, I saw that same unknown number saved in my contacts as if it had been added automatically. And then, my gallery sent a notification. One new photo added. When I opened my gallery, there was a blurry photo. It showed a dark figure standing outside my bedroom window. That's when I realized the photo was taken just now, in my room. I quickly turned on the lights and looked out of my window, but there was no one there. Just darkness. But I couldn't shake the feeling that someone was watching me. I thought it was just a prank, but then another message came. This time, it was a voice note. When I played it, I heard a low, growling voice whisper, "Turn around." I froze. Slowly, I turned around, but there was nothing there. Then, something made my heart stop. The flash on my phone's camera blinked for a second, as if someone had just taken my photo. I switched off my phone immediately and ran out of my room. But as soon as I entered the living room, my TV turned on by itself. On the screen, a message appeared. "Last seen now." I didn't know what to do. I removed the SIM card from my phone, deleted all social media apps, and decided to restart with a new phone. But something strange happened. When I turned on my new phone, the first message I received was, "You can't escape." I don't use WhatsApp anymore. Sometimes I still feel like someone is watching me. Every notification, every buzz reminds me of that night. That last seen message is still fresh in my memory. Social media has become a necessity for us, but we never think about who we're really connecting with. The next time you see something strange with your WhatsApp last seen, or receive a message from an unknown number, maybe it's time to turn your phone off. But remember one thing, you can't always turn it off. Someone is always watching your last scene. This happened last month, and I still can't get over it. You might think it's just another weird online incident, but trust me, this one felt real. It all started with a simple video call on Skype. I had a video call scheduled with a friend I hadn't talked to in a while. We had some catching up to do, and I was excited to reconnect. The call started like any other, the screen lighting up with her face and the usual chit-chat. But as we talked, I noticed something strange. In the background of her room, there was a shadow, just standing there. I thought it was nothing at first, maybe a trick of the light, but it didn't feel right. I casually mentioned the shadow, asking if someone was in her room, but she looked confused. "What shadow?" she asked. I looked closer. The shadow was still there. It looked like someone was standing near her closet, just barely visible. I was about to ask her again, but before I could, the screen froze for a moment. It was a weird lag, like something was interfering with the call. Then, when the screen came back, the shadow was gone. I tried to shrug it off, telling myself it was just a glitch or bad connection. As the call continued, things got even weirder. Every time my friend moved, I saw strange reflections on her glass window behind her. They were too fast to focus on, but something was there, moving in sync with her actions. I asked her again, "Are you sure you're alone?" She laughed, but her voice seemed off, like she wasn't paying attention to what I was saying. I started to feel uneasy. I could hear faint tapping sounds coming from my phone speaker, like someone was tapping their fingers on the screen. At first, I thought it was just my imagination, but then the tapping came again, louder this time. I froze when my friend suddenly said, "Who are you talking to?" I thought she was joking, but when I looked at the screen, I could see her expression change. Her eyes widened, and she turned around quickly. The closet door behind her was now wide open. That's when I saw it, a figure standing just inside her room. It was shadowed, barely visible in the dim light. The figure stepped closer to her. I could see it clear as day, standing there right behind her. I shouted, "Look behind you!" But my voice couldn't reach her. The screen froze again, this time for much longer. When it came back, the figure was gone, but my friend was nowhere to be seen either. It was just a black screen.